Yeah, well, a couple of them were. Well, they were warranted.
Yes. It is Alexiak and Buravietsky.
Yeah, well, the Alexiak one, you can't just throw elbows. Like, it's...
Yeah. It's very similar to that Kadri hit on Sedin. Maybe a little less blatant.
Well, I don't know. The Kadri hit was very shoulder.
Yeah.
It was very shoulder, mid-arm. This one was...
I feel like Alexiak has the height advantage, though, to just kind of throw an elbow out like that.
Yeah, well, but he threw an elbow. He threw an elbow. He threw an elbow pretty blatantly.
I feel like he was trying to be the Rock there. Can you smell what the Alexiak is cooking? No, he can't.
Well, not anymore because he broke his nose, probably. I don't know. I think... But I think it rolls back to the whole NHL thing, like we talked about last week on our Ice Guardians review. I think it goes back to player safety. 5 years ago, would that have been a suspension? Probably not. It is now. I mean, it was an ugly hit. It was an ugly elbow. You don't throw elbows.
Yeah.
Especially with the way... Once again, back to last week, the way the padding and everything is made now, it's...
So they're wearing Kevlar with hardened plastic pieces.
Yeah, it's not exactly going to be forgiving when you hit somebody in the face with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I good for the league if that's what they want to set. That's their example to set, and that's like they had to use Alexiak for it. Okay. Yeah. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
The Borievsky hit, that doesn't surprise me. That's kind of... I'm not going to say he's a dirty player, but he's a tough physical player. But you hit Tyler Toffoli, who's also a lot smaller than you, and I don't know. It was a dirty hit.
Yeah.
That one, to me, was more of a suspendable hit than the Alexiak elbow.
Yeah.
In my mind.
I can agree. Yeah. I just feel like... Yeah, it's like what I said last week. It just players padding and don't have an instigation rule.
Yeah, I think the instigation rule is... Let's face it.
It's silly.
It's the dumbest. It's worse than... I mean, it's worse than embellishment.
Yeah.
But I get embellishment. Embellishment
makes
really
more
funny.
sense. It just makes you look dumb.
It's like you get a penalty because you try to draw a penalty and you looked ridiculous while doing so.
Yeah.
Go sit for 2.
Yeah.
I wonder, and I know you can't, but what would negate a 4-minute embellishment call? Like, what would you have to do that looked so ridiculous that they're like, we're going to make you sit for 4 minutes? I don't know. I feel like there needs to be one.
I think you would have to writhe around on the ice like a soccer player.
Yes, grab your knee while you're laying on your back.
Yeah.
Do the FIFA where you just grab your knee and roll around and wait for somebody to come off.
Ow! Ow!
It'd be like in Step Brothers when they make the bunk beds and it falls over. So there's blood everywhere. And a little 2-inch cut. Yeah. You do that while you're laying on the ground.
Like that's gonna scab up in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Well, that's why they play hockey. Yeah, I don't know what else we have on our list for everything today. We got
Yeah, I think that it's impressive with the teams that the Blackhawks and the Blues came up with, that they're leading.
Basically they're leading the Western Conference.
Yeah, they're leading the conference right now.
Blues, I say yes, because you lose so many big pieces. I mean, with Chicago starting so many rookies this year and young kids, it's impressive. But when you've won 2-3 cups, you start to learn your style and how to build your franchise and your farm team.
Yeah.
I think it's good. What I think is going to be better for the Blues, is next year they will have their own farm team. We won't be sharing an AHL team with Chicago
That's
anymore.
right. Forgot about
we
that.
will. Yes,
Gonna have a better system and not have to share it with our nemesis.
One of the owner of the Kansas City Chiefs and a former Blues defenseman are bringing an AHL team to Kansas City. I have always thought Kansas City would be a good place for an NHL team. Well, now they're getting an AHL team, and they also want to bring in a USHL team there as well. The owner also he owns the Missouri Mavericks of the ECHL. So I mean he can run a hockey team as well as a football team. And he's dedicated to making this team that's coming to Kansas City win. I think it's great for the Blues to have their own system. We won't be sending people to the Alaska Aces or even to Chicago now with the Wolves. We won't have to worry about splitting up like that. We'll be back to the Peoria days where you can just find your homegrown talent and grow them there. We won't have to worry about, how many contracts are for each player, where everybody is. Your core is going to be where it should be, and I think that's great.
And it's still within driving distance.
Yeah, I'm sure next year I'm going to see a couple of Kansas City, whatever they're going to be, games. I think
Kansas City Crushers.
Please no, because it'll be with a K, and I'm not going to like that.
Yeah, you can call them.
It can't be worse than the Golden Knights. So, we got that going for us.
Kansas City Crayolas.
That's terrible. And I have rainbow jerseys, so 64 colors. Built-in skate sharpener. No, it should be good though. I don't know. Chicago is Chicago though. At the end of the day,
yeah.
Like I was saying before, they're that team that
they were struggling there for a minute at the beginning of the season. But
they're getting Taves back tonight too. I think he's missed 8 games, or maybe it was 4. I can't remember.
Finding their groove,
which is and I mean the Blues are just now getting there as well.
Yeah,
we hit a rough patch. I mean it's to be expected though. That's the NHL season. That's why you play 82 games.
Yeah, you get a small sample size early on, and then it just kind of gets broader and broader and broader.
Yeah, but I feel by the end of December, first week of January, you pretty much know where your team is. You know how you're going to be.
Yeah.
Your team is pretty much solidified for what it is by the halfway point. You know what's going on.
Yeah. The wild card position is kind of tight. You've got San Jose with 33, LA with 30, and then sitting on the outside of the wild card spot in the Western Conference, you have Winnipeg with 29 points, and you have Nashville with 28. And Dallas, to me, is surprising. They have 28. I felt like they would be doing a little better, but they're still sitting on the outside. Yeah. Minnesota is up there with the top 3.
I see, you don't even have to tell me anybody else, I see San Jose taking it, barring no serious injury. Yeah. They're too good. They were in the finals last year. Team didn't change that much. There's no reason that they shouldn't take that.
Calgary, to me, is they're in a spot where they, like, if they can continue to win games, like, they're gonna be in the playoffs.
Yeah, but goes back to earlier. Do they have that goaltending that can withstand it?
The staying power.
Yeah.
I don't know, the way the top Western teams are. It might be too much in the long run for Calgary. Just being completely honest. Yeah. I mean, it would look good for Canada to actually have more teams in the playoffs, but I feel like Edmonton has more staying power in the division that they're in with Calgary.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of Matthews. I jumped the bus. Jump on the bus of physical players. So like Max Domi is. I'm on the Domi bandwagon.
Well, he's only going to be out 4 to 6 weeks because he got his face caved in. No big deal.
He'll be back.
But that little scrappy little guy there. Yeah, he lost the fight a lot, but I get it. I mean, his dad is Ty Domi. You're not going to tell the kid not to fight. Maybe now he'll be a little more selective, but
just that
it doesn't matter though. Max Domi's never going to have the size advantage in a fight. He's just not. You just got to let the kid be the kid.
Yeah,
but
I feel like, I mean, to me, sometimes I feel like if you're a young kid and you're now an NHLer, he still might have this mentality of I still got to prove myself by being that kind of guy. And I mean, he could be that guy for the Coyotes that could be an odd, but I feel like you have.
He's got skill, though. It's weird to see somebody with skill fight. But like I said, his dad is Ty Domi, and you're not going to... He watched his dad fight people. Yes, it's a different era of hockey, but you're not... It's instilled in him.
Yeah.
His dad was not a big player either. You know...
he's just got to be a little... He's got to be smart.
Be a little more selective about who you fight and when you fight. You don't need to get your face caved in and be out 4 to 6 weeks when your team needs you.
Yeah. I mean, they are in last place in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
They're tied with the Avalanche.
How's that feel?
I mean,
it's okay. Kroenke owns them.
Kroenke owns
no big deal. You're never gonna win.
I'm not really worried about it. I just hope that. I mean, they had I want McKinnon and Landeskog and Duchesne and Varlamov to just leave, go somewhere else, where you can do better.
Just leave. I don't. All the good players, just leave. If you wait long enough, Kroenke will drive them out of town. So that's all you have to do.
Sell the team for $1 to me.
I'll buy LA. Them. To LA.
No.
Send them to LA.
No. There's already a team there.
Well, that's Kroenke's move nowadays. Need to go to LA. Yeah, basically. But
now they have a solid fan base in Colorado. They don't need to move. Oh wait, he did that to the Rams.
Yeah, that's why we just moved that there. Yeah.
He'll send them to Vegas.
We'll send them to Vegas. They'll have another mother-loving team there.
A good thing we're recording this on
we can edit.
GarageBand.
We can edit that little F-bomb out. You know what? With 2 minutes left in this podcast, let me say that we've done about 7 or 8 of these now, and that's the first F-bomb that we have ever dropped. So I think we're doing all right. I'm gonna go ahead and clap and pat myself on the back for that one.
Yay!
I just get so worked up talking about Stanley Kroenke over here. Not that I care about the Rams at all.
Yeah. The Eastern Conference, I mean, it's kind of weird to see Detroit like in the middle of the bottom. I mean, it's weird, but to me, it's at the way that they've been building, like it's expected.
Yes, but what really bugs me about that is it's your last season at the Joe. You should, man, that arena, man, it's got some memories, and you should have went out as close to his top as you could have.
Yeah, and now you're naming your new stadium Little Caesars Stadium.
Yeah, it should have really went with Palace.
Yeah, Little Caesars
Palladium.
Coliseum
Coliseum would have went good.
Yeah. Well,
anything but why Little Caesars? Anyways, that's for another day.
Yep. Bye-bye.